I take everything with a grain of salt, and that's how I approach things. I don't listen to everybody's stuff and say, oh, that's matter of fact what it is for everyone. We're all living our own individual lives. So I want this to be presented in a way that you come at this with a sense of love and peace. And this is all to build one another up and not tear each other down. Hi, everyone. Welcome aboard Jumpseat Therapy with your host, Kevin Weaver. Welcome to the Jump Seat. Come on and sit down, take a seat, and let's get started. Jumpseat therapy is a term flight attendants use to technically have like a therapy session on the jump seat because we're always meeting new flight attendants, and we really need to get to know one another like on the fly, no pun intended. But to really help one another, grow. And because we're exposed to so much, it could be kind of rough, especially in that first year. And so the term jumpseat therapy was introduced to me and was something that I used to kind of help me uh, navigate through the tough situations in our job and get to know one another so quickly. I like to go from 0 to 100 real fast, so I'm going to try to structure this podcast in a way that kind of starts off in a little level, a smaller surface level, to deeper questions later on in the podcast. But the whole concept is, just sharing anything and everything with one another without judgment and being vulnerable and open. So I can't wait to launch it. What to expect in the future. I have my best friend. She and I are going to get started on our first podcast, our first episode about love, because I feel like love is kind of something a little skewed in this world today. And there needs to be a lot more of it because, we all have different interpretations of that. And I just feel like it'd be a great way to enlighten people and our ideas of it, and be able to put that on a platform in a podcast form. And I can't wait to hear what people are going to share. I take everything with a grain of salt, and that's how I approach things. I don't listen to everybody's stuff and say, oh, that's matter of fact what it is for everyone. We're all living our own individual lives. So I want this to be presented in a way that you come at this with a sense of love and peace. And this is all to build one another up and not tear each other down. There's been a lot of stuff in our company that, as a flight attendant and other, I'm not only going to interview flight attendants, I'm also going to interview people in general. I want to be able to share people's stories on how they make their job the best, and if they have a side gig, what is it that they're doing? Because we're so much more than just our job. We're so much more than just what we are in our family, and with our friends. We're so many different things. So I want to bring light and positivity to that and be able to build it, like I said, build one another up in our communities. And if you're working these corporations or these jobs, how do you make it positive? Because I can't control the company and I can't control all of the others around me, but I can control myself and the way I perceive things and take it in a positive direction. And that's what I've been doing recently. And Jumpseat therapy was kind of the first start for me, which is not something to substitute your therapist with, by the way. I am not licensed therapist, may have some on the show. However, I want you to be sure you're reaching out to a therapist in your licensed area. So do not take this advice for uh face value, or it all is what it is. So please go at this with a grain of salt and be open-minded and help one another grow. If there's something that doesn't ring true to you, it's not maybe meant for you, and that's okay. And vice versa, if it is something that rings true to you, then all the more better. Just take it and breathe and work through it and be grateful for the information that you get. So I hope this podcast brings that to you. Starting this April 15th. So like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my first episode about love with Sunny. I can't wait to share our little conversations that she and I have all the time. We could be on the phone for 6 hours and really learn to do that on a podcast and make it an hour long or less is going to be challenging. So stay tuned. I'm excited to interview a bunch of other people. If you have any comments that you'd like or like to see this go in a certain way, because I want this to be our podcast. I don't want this just to be about me or just Jumpseat Therapy. I want it to be everyone as a whole who are interviewed, who are viewing. I want you to all feel like you are a part of this because you are. So that being said, I want to say thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Thank you for being here. You are an amazing light. I'm so grateful to be here myself and to share our stories. So, hope you guys enjoy. Again, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Love, peace, and unity.